2, 1, go.
Hey guys, it's Yuna,
Joanna.
and Warshita.
Today we're going to be teaching you all about learning target 4E.
Learning target 4E is all about finding the side lengths of special right triangles.
There are two types of special right triangles,
30, 60, 90, and 45, 45, 90.
with the special right triangles rules, we can find the side lengths with just one side length without having to do any messy math.
Without further ado, let's get into the video.
As we said earlier, there are two types of special right triangles.
45, 45, 90 triangles are exactly what they're called. They're a right triangle that has two congruent angles and a right angle. There are also isosceles, so you can also call this type of triangle an isosceles right triangle.
To find any side length, you have to have at least one of the sides. The length for one of the legs will always be equal to the length of the other leg, since the base angles are the same.
To find the length of the hypotenuse from a leg length, you just have to times it by root 2.
And likewise, if you have the hypotenuse length, you just have to divide it by root 2 to get the leg length. As we mentioned earlier, the two leg lengths will be the same. But Yuna, how do you know this?
We get this equation from the Pythagorean theorem. Since two legs are congruent, we can say that x squared plus x squared, which are the leg lengths. If we add that together, it will be 2x squared equals y squared. If we square root to simplify both sides, we result in x squared root 2 equals y.
Here we have an example question. As you can see, they give us the information that two angles are 45 degrees and the third is 90 degrees. Since it's a isosceles right triangle, one of the leg lengths is the same as the other leg length. So the other leg length is also 2 times root 2. To get x hypotenuse length, we multiply by root 2. The radicals cancel each other out, so we're left with 2. Now we can multiply the two 2's together, so the hypotenuse is 4 units long.
As you can see in this triangle, the hypotenuse length is 16. To get the leg length, we just have to divide by root 2. To simplify this, we multiply the radical by 1 in the form of root 2 over root 2 to simplify the radical. Simplify and divide 16 by 2 and we get 8. So the leg length is 8 times root 2 units long.
Always make sure to simplify your answer and simplify the radical. That's it. It's actually pretty easy.
And that's the rundown on 45, 45, 90 triangles.
Now let's learn about the second type of special right triangle, which is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this is going to be our 30, 60, 90 triangle. And now let's learn about the relationships. The shorter side is always going to be on the opposite of the 30-degree angle, which is going to be this one right here. We can call this A. The longer side is always going to be on the opposite of the 60-degree angle right here, and we can call this A to the square root of 3. So the relationship between the shorter side and the longer side, the length of the longer leg is the square root of 3 times the length of the shorter leg. And lastly, the hypotenuse, which is this right here, is always twice the length. An example problem is we have a triangle. This could be the 90, the 30, and the 60. And let's say the hypotenuse is 3.46 centimeters. And the shorter length is x, and we're going to have to figure out the shorter length. We can figure out the shorter length by knowing the relationship between this and that. So we learned that the hypotenuse is always twice the length of the shorter side. So we can just divide 3.46 by 2 to figure out x. So x would be 1.73 centimeters. And we can replace this with 1.73 centimeters. And now let's say we have to figure out the longer length. We can figure out the longer length by multiplying short leg times square root of 3, which will equal the long leg. So let's replace it. The shorter leg is 1.73 times square root of 3. So this is going to equal to 3 centimeters. So that's basically how you figure out all the sides with one side. And you can also work your way backwards. Like if you get the shorter length, you can figure out the hypotenuse by multiplying by 2. And yeah. So we're given the length of the longer side, and they want us to figure out the hypotenuse and the shorter side. So by remembering the relationship between the longer side and the shorter side, we can figure out the shorter side first. So it's shorter side times square root of 3. That's 8, by the way. Square root of 3. So if we plug in x times equals 36.3 and you divide, we should get the answer for the shorter side. So this would be about 21. So we can say the shorter side is 21 inches. Now for the hypotenuse, the relationship is the hypotenuse is always twice the length of the shorter side. So all you're doing is multiplying 21 times 2 to equal y. So this would be 42 inches. So that's it. That's pretty easy.
That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.
I hope you learned a lot about special right triangles.
Next time you see a special right triangle, look for the angles first.
Have a good day, guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye.